This is a special edition of Weekend Sunrise with Koshi and Nat live from Buckingham Palace.
Good morning from outside Buckingham Palace, which has been the centre point for celebrations today as King Charles III was officially confirmed. Even now, it's 9 p.m. on a Saturday night. There is still quite a crowd here outside Buckingham Palace. Tens of thousands today. The flag is at full staff on top of Buckingham Palace, so King Charles is in there behind us.
Yeah, pretty amazing, isn't it? It's a beautiful night in London, about 18 degrees. Yeah, lots and lots of people still walking around. And could we have just witnessed another landmark moment late this afternoon? Take a look at this. Prince William, Catherine, Prince Harry and Meghan together, greeting crowds outside Windsor Castle. That has come as a surprise to everyone, especially the well-wishers who'd gathered there. But first this morning, a day that will be seen in the history books of Britain and the British monarchy for centuries to come. For the first time, television cameras were allowed inside the secret ceremony that officially turns princes into kings and princesses to queens. It is an event steeped in tradition that has now been seen publicly as King Charles opens the door a little wider, letting TV cameras in. Since 1066, they've been confirming kings and queens like this. Now, 1,000 years on, it's a secret no more.
This is everyone who used to run Britain and everyone who does run Britain all in one room.
Every former British Prime Minister is among those chosen to make up the Accession Council, meeting at St James Palace, alongside the throne of King Henry VIII, proclaiming Charles as the new king.
That the Prince Charles Philip Arthur George is now, by the death of our late sovereign of happy memory, become our only lawful and rightful liege lord, Charles III.
I know how deeply you, the entire nation, and I think I may say the whole world, sympathise with me in the irreparable loss we've all suffered.
Queen Consort Camilla and the next king, his son William, by Charles' side.
In taking up these responsibilities, I shall strive to follow the inspiring example I have been set.
The proclamation was read throughout London, as it used to be done.
The crown of the United Kingdom of Great Britain and Northern Ireland is solely and rightfully come to the Prince Charles Philip Arthur George.
God save the King.
God save the King. Flags raised back to full mast in London and Windsor Castle. Gun salutes ringing out to honour the new king. The public approving too, as Charles III arrived back at Buckingham Palace to deafening cheers.
I just felt like a really special moment in history.
For the first time, Charles left here, Buckingham Palace, as king. The motorcade was surrounded by thousands and thousands of people because for them, this is the new normal. The Queen's three other children, Princess Anne, Prince Andrew and Prince Edward, remained in Balmoral, putting on their own show of unity, emerging to read tributes left for their mother.
It's just very emotional, wasn't it, Mum? Yeah, to see them, walk down like that. And
it was really lovely to see them all together.
Princess Eugenie comforted by Dad Andrew alongside sister Beatrice and cousin Zara Tyndall. In Windsor, incredible scenes as William and Kate greeted the public.
It's a remarkable moment for each and every one of them.
Joined by Harry and Meghan. The four of them standing together, united in their grief for Queen Elizabeth. Her funeral confirmed this morning for Monday, September 19.
Yes, that shocked everyone. Let's go to our team of reporters, David Woywood, who is here at Buckingham Palace with us. And David, the Fab Four together had everybody's head spinning.
Yeah, certainly is an image we haven't seen for a very long time, Koshi and Nat, but there it was, that show of unity there from the two brothers, Harry and William, and their two wives as well, Kate and Meghan. They were seen walking down that very long driveway out the front of Windsor Castle, the four of them in lockstep there, having a little bit of a chat along the way, before making it down to those thousands of mourners who had gathered out the front of the castle there. And then they made their way through that crowd, speaking to people, hugging people, taking on those tributes, flowers, cards and other gifts as well. Look, you have to say, Harry and Meghan, they were warmly embraced and welcomed by that crowd out the front. It has many now thinking that perhaps this shared grief is going to go some way to repairing what has been a very strained and fractured relationship. Certainly many people are now hoping for that. Of course, today's outing, though, also marks Prince William's first as his new title, the Prince of Wales, and Catherine's as the new Princess of Wales. And he's released his first statement today in that new role today, referencing, of course, his grandmother. He has said, "She was by my side at my happiest moments, and she was by my side during the saddest days of my life. My grandmother famously said that grief was the price we pay for love. All of the sadness we feel in the coming week will be testament to the love we felt for our extraordinary Queen." So some beautiful words there from the new Prince of Wales. Look, as for the new King, well, we've also seen him today. He has been out the front of Buckingham Palace today. Very briefly, he stopped, he met with some of the crowd there, shook a few hands before getting back in his car and making his way to Clarence House. I was in the crowd when he drove by, and the roar that went up, it was just electric. It was such a warm welcome for that new King. Look, as for the Queen, well, we now know that her funeral date has been set for September 19. We know that her body will lay in state for 4 days before that, and tomorrow her coffin will make that journey from Balmoral to Edinburgh, accompanied by her daughter. Guys?
Yeah, that's going to be so emotional, watching that train, isn't it?
Yep. There is some debate whether the train is being changed to a plane to come down.
Oh, I hadn't heard that.
That is on the grapevine at the moment, so we'll keep you up to date with that.
Okay, let's go back to Sydney now. Matthew Castian is there. Big day of proclamations ahead at home.
Good morning, Nat. It certainly is very exciting. We're outside State Parliament. Crews have been working through the early hours of this morning to get ready for the proclamation ceremony of King Charles III. We're expecting to see a 21-gun salute. It'll be attended by the likes of our State Premier Dominic Perrottet, frontbench ministers, and of course our Governor as well. Now, because of today's special day, they've also made public transport free across the entire state, encouraging people to come here and take part in what is expected to be a very historic event, of course. As well as that, we're going to see extra police. They're going to be here at State Parliament, roads closed, but also at the Royal Botanic Gardens. We've seen a growing floral tribute for the Queen as well. That'll be happening here in just over 6 hours' time, guys.
Hope Wilson in Melbourne, Sunday morning. Lots of Anglicans will be going to Sunday services today with the new leader of the Church of England. What's the reaction at home?
Good morning, Koshi. Well, here in Melbourne, the church is preparing to celebrate the life of the Queen. There will be a special solemn service at 6 o'clock this evening, led by Archbishop Philip Freer. There'll also be diplomats of the Commonwealth and members of the many groups the Queen was patroned. It's open to the public and will be streamed online. Now, the Queen visited St Paul's Cathedral in 1954, not long after her coronation. At that time, she signed the Book of Gold, and that will be on display here. There will be prayers of thanksgiving for the long life of the Queen and prayers for the new King Charles III. They'll also be shared at regular services, the first here at 8 this morning, throughout this whole morning period. Now, one of the other places the Queen visited on her many trips to Victoria was Flemington. She was there 3 times. Yesterday, on the first day of spring racing, there was a minute's silence to remember the Queen, and jockeys wore black armbands for Her Majesty, who loved her racing. At the MCG last night, more than 90,000 football fans paused for 1 minute to remember the Queen. Now, the AFL is in its final series right now, and the Brownlow medal ceremony which was meant to be held on Monday evening, has been brought forward 24 hours. That's now being held on Sunday, so it doesn't clash with the funeral, and all Victorians have the opportunity to stop and remember the Queen. Guys?